Hi everyone, welcome back to the VSO Gun Channel. Thanks for joining us today. And today we're talking about the brand spanking new MK9 Banshee from CMMG. And I'll be completely honest, I didn't get to do a whole heck of a lot of shooting on this one for obvious reasons. However, I was able to swindle some of my friends into doing the testing for me. Maybe I offered them free ammo. The MK9 is kind of a cleanup product, if you will, for CMMG on their Banshee line. A few years ago, they launched the radial delay blowback system, and it took the market by storm. This simple design eliminated the need for complicated delay blowback systems of the past and essentially made direct blowback PCCs obsolete overnight. If you want more info on the exhaustive testing we have done on this operating system, we'll have a bunch of links listed down below. TLDR, enhanced reliability, and softer shooting. Fast forward to today, CMMG has incorporated this design into the roots of PCCs with Colt mag feeding. I will revisit this shortly. Banshees are offered in 3 different variations, the 1, 2, and 300 series. This is the 300 series in Sniper Gray. Some satellite features that may be glossed over in initial presentation is a forged sling plate, the rip brace, a large ambi charging handle, and a Cerakote finish. Main specs include a 5-inch 1-in-10 twist 4140 chromoly SBN treated barrel that is threaded half 28 for use with any 9mm compatible muzzle equipment you desire. The firearm weighs in at 4.7 pounds and at an overall length of just over 18 inches, it is totally doable one-handed, even with optics and a can. Finally, I have been begging and bothering and pestering CMMG for this gun for years. And actually, I need to look at that. It might actually be 4 years. I understand why Glock magazine fed is popular. I understand why people want them. I understand why manufacturers make them. The bottom line is that prior to this crisis that we're going through right now, you could walk into any gun store in America and pretty much find a 9mm Glock magazine. I got it. They're ubiquitous. However, if we're completely honest, just because they're ubiquitous doesn't mean that they're the best. And the Glock magazine is simply inferior. Just because it's everywhere doesn't mean it's awesome. There's lots of things in life that are that way. A double stack to single stack magazine will always be inferior to a true double stack magazine. There's just no way that you can stack it and say that a double to single is better. All you need to do, take a look at a clear Glock magazine. Look at what happens when it goes from double stack to single stack, and you're just like, wow, how does this even work? At least to my knowledge, most, because I'm not sure that it's all. Absolute statements, most submachine guns in the world run off of a true double stack magazine. Going back to the roots, circa 1990s, 2000s, something like that, Colt magazine PCCs were the gold standard, and they were awesome. They had their own small idiosyncrasies inherent to being direct blowback guns, and now we have a delayed blowback AR pattern gun that runs off of Colt magazines.
This is much better than cramming Glock mags.
Oh yeah, don't gotta do the number there. Just push straight down.
And they work.
Now, the one thing that I will absolutely agree with when it comes to Colt magazines as far as arguments against, besides the fact that they're called Colt magazines, because cheater. Because a double stack magazine, a true double stack magazine, you can load it with a broken hand. Again, can't do a Glock magazine right now. You can hear the paper tear. Well, I don't know, maybe you can't. We shot 3 different types of ammunition through this gun. The 115 grain, the 124 grain, and the 158 grain, all from Fiocchi. Those 158s are the subsonic loads. And the reason I mention that is this thing has the capacity to incorporate what CMMG sells as their bolt tuning kit. And I have one here, and I did not need it. Suppressed or unsuppressed, with all 3 of those loadings, it was not required. Maybe if you're having an issue with the particular type of ammunition that you're using, maybe you should add the bolt tuning kit to your arsenal of stuff, but in my experience, not required for this particular setup right here. Now, we ran a variety of cans on this gun. This is actually a 45 caliber can. This is the Bowers Asp. Also, we tried the Obsidian, the Vers 9S, and then I think we also did the Naughty 9 from the Whip Machining Tool. We just did a video about their cans a few weeks ago. Riding on top of this thing is a Trijicon SRS, which is a completely ridiculous optic, but it takes really cool pictures. But also, I have a Pursed here. And the reason that is here is because we went out and did some night vision stuff with John. What did you think on the flash signature on those, between the 2 cans?
I really didn't notice any in this one.
Really?
Yeah, but you must have. But you have a better side angle than I do. Just like on my AAC can, when I'm shooting it, I don't notice much flash at all, if any. When I was watching Curtis's video of me, there's flash.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's interesting because I wasn't really paying attention. I'd noticed it on this. Well, I noticed it when we were filming this time. I didn't notice it last time, but I wasn't paying any attention to it. That strobe on top of your head is obnoxious. It is so obnoxious. Thank you. Thank you very much. So generally, you've had a couple days on the Banshee. What do you think?
I'd buy it.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
As far as like other 9mm PCCs, it's got a really light recoil impulse.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
And I mean, with subs, it's super quiet.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, you know. Once
you just going.
And it's light. It's like once you got all that other crap on, and other stuff just hanging out on your head, it's just so much easier to just have a little tiny thing like that.
It really is.
Yep, super handy. Well, thanks for running the night vision stuff while my hand's broken.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
All right, later on, dude. Now, as an add-on to the video that you just saw, all that was filmed under the IR, so you pretty much wouldn't be able to see much of anything if you were standing out there unassisted. We were both wearing PVS 14s, and mine's over my left eye, and therefore I can see with my right the ambient light conditions, and basically you can't see hardly anything. Maybe a little bit of muzzle stuff, not anything that would really be trackable. That said, there are some things there that we like to look at, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of gas cloud that kind of lives in front of the illuminator there a little bit, and that is just a trade-off from using a suppressor. The purpose of a suppressor is to cool the gas, slow the gas, and release it slowly. And there's going to be a lingering cloud there in front. But the thing that I was really looking for, because it's delayed blowback, a lot of times the PCCs, when you shoot them under night vision, you might be able to dial down the front of the gun, which John, from the shooter's perspective, said that he didn't really experience any whiteout in his night vision whatsoever. A lot of times the direct blowback guns will throw a whole bunch of crap out the ejection port. What that does is give off a very bright signature. Sometimes it can white out your night vision. Other times it's just a signature, as in it's visible outside without any light enhancement. Didn't see any of that in the RDB system in this 5-inch barrel suppressed. So, gotta say, CMMG's got quite an animal in the Mark 9 here. And finally, we have a magazine that doesn't suck. Anyway, that's all I've got on the Mark 9. I'm going to hang on to it for a little bit, and maybe we'll use it for some more projects here in the imminent future. And I know that there's going to be some people that are going to be angry with CMMG for releasing a new product and not having caught up on their backlog. Guys, it's just the way it is. That manufacturing in this country cannot keep up with the demand for these products, and that's why we need to be politically active, because we need to make sure that our right to keep and bear arms is not infringed.